The series opens on an ordinary morning in Tokyo. At J&T Television Studios, reporter Kyoko Kono is hurrying to prepare for her live morning segment after her train is delayed. Just before the broadcast begins, a mysterious package marked "Open immediately" is delivered to the station, but no one has time to examine it because the live program is about to start. Kyoko's guest is Professor Emeritus Kyugo Sano, an environmental engineering expert from Teito University. The interview proceeds normally until, without warning, Professor Sano begins choking after the human vapor attacks him. Seconds later, smoke begins escaping from his mouth. The professor convulses as something appears to explode inside his body. His neck distorts before bursting from within, killing him instantly during the live nationwide broadcast. The control room erupts into panic as producers cut away to commercials. Kyoko is left frozen in shock after witnessing the gruesome murder only a few feet away. The incident instantly becomes one of the biggest breaking news stories in Japan. Elsewhere, suspended detective Kenji Okamoto is eating lunch when he notices a restaurant owner verbally abusing an immigrant employee named Palm. Kenji intervenes, then he receives a phone call from his superior, who informs him that despite still being under suspension, headquarters has reinstated him to the First Investigation Division. He's ordered straight to J&T to investigate the shocking murder. J&T has become a crime scene. Police officers fill the building while forensic teams examine the studio where Professor Sano died. Kenji is briefed on the bizarre circumstances. The victim died during a live interview, and the footage clearly shows smoke escaping his body before the fatal explosion. Even veteran detectives have never seen anything remotely similar. His chief reveals that the reporter who conducted the interview was Kyoko Kono. Kenji recognizes the name. After forensic investigators finish questioning her, he finds Kyoko resting in the cafeteria. Kyoko immediately notices that Kenji has returned to active duty, while Kenji realizes she's now one of J&T's senior reporters. He asks whether Professor Sano behaved strangely before the attack, but Kyoko says nothing seemed unusual. Everything happened exactly as seen on television. Attention soon turns to the package delivered before the broadcast. Some staff members fear it could be a bomb, while others want to open it immediately. Inside, they find only a QR code. Despite concerns about cybersecurity risks, Kyoko scans it anyway. The code links to a pre-recorded video. The man on screen claims responsibility for Professor Sano's murder. He says he met Sano 27 years earlier, implying the killing was the result of a decades-old grudge. More disturbingly, he announces that Sano is only the beginning. Rather than hiding from authorities, he invites every major news organization in Tokyo to attend a press conference at Bunko Ramen the following afternoon at exactly 4 p.m. He promises to reveal how he committed the impossible murder, why he killed Professor Sano, and who he intends to kill next. Across Tokyo, people watch in disbelief. Social media explodes with speculation. Even popular internet streamer Fujita, who runs the horror-themed channel Fujita and Kaho's Terror Zone, discusses the bizarre case with his audience. And like many creators chasing clicks, Fujita claims he isn't interested in exploiting the story purely for subscribers, though he clearly recognizes how unprecedented the case has become. The mysterious killer quickly becomes the most talked about figure in Japan. Meanwhile, police scientists present their autopsy findings. The results only deepen the mystery. Professor Sano's lungs appear to have expanded violently before compressing his neck and exploding from inside his body. No traces of conventional explosives are found. Instead, investigators discover unusual thermal damage inside his lungs that resembles chemical burns rather than bomb residue. No one can explain how such an attack was carried out. The investigation begins considering the possibility of some unknown chemical agent. Kenji suggests warning the public that they may be dealing with a chemical terrorist before the scheduled press conference. His recommendation reaches Governor Takeshi Miura, who soon addresses the nation. During his televised statement, Miura assures citizens that the government and police have the situation under control. At the same time, he publicly warns everyone, including journalists, not to attend the suspect's planned press conference because authorities cannot guarantee anyone's safety. Additional riot police are deployed around Bunko Ramen in preparation for the event. The investigation also reveals more about Kenji's personal history. The superintendent general privately meets with him, offering him a cigarette before joking about Kenji's bachelor life and suggesting he should find a wife if he hopes to advance his career. Their conversation becomes more serious when the superintendent admits one reason Kenji was brought back onto this particular case was because of Kyoko. He knows their previous relationship ended painfully and believes solving this case offers Kenji an opportunity to prove he's finally moved on. A flashback to 5 years earlier shows how they first met. Kyoko had been assigned to film a documentary following police officers during a stakeout, introducing her to Kenji long before their romance eventually fell apart. The following day, Bunko Ramen becomes surrounded by police, reporters, television crews, and curious onlookers. Hours pass, 4 o'clock arrives, nothing happens. The restaurant owner becomes furious after being forced to shut down his business for what appears to be a hoax. As frustration spreads through the crowd, Kyoko notices something unusual. The current Bunko Ramen wasn't always located here. She receives confirmation that the restaurant originally operated from another building. Realizing the invitation may have referred to the old location instead, Kyoko immediately rushes there with fellow reporter Tatsuya Nishiyama. Inside the abandoned original Bunko Ramen, Kyoko finds exactly what the mysterious man promised. He's waiting for her. Ignoring the massive police operation at the wrong location, the man grants Kyoko an exclusive interview. When she asks why Professor Sano was murdered, he answers with a single cryptic phrase, White Center. According to him, Professor Sano committed terrible crimes there decades earlier. He claims powerful people connected to White Center still control society and will use their influence to erase the truth if he exposes them. Because of that, he's chosen another path. He vows to personally kill everyone responsible. Kyoko asks whether he could forgive them if they admitted what they had done and sincerely apologized. He says it's theoretically possible, but he doesn't believe any of them ever will. As police finally surround the building, Kyoko asks one last question, "What is your name?" The man replies, "From now on, they will call me the Human Vapor." Armed officers burst into the building and order the suspect to surrender. Instead of complying, the mysterious man appears to transform. A violent cloud of vapor erupts around him, glass shatters, thick smoke fills the air, police officers collapse coughing as visibility disappears. Amid the confusion, the human vapor dissolves into mist and vanishes completely. Despite being completely surrounded, he escapes without leaving any trace behind. The impossible escape shocks everyone present, leaving investigators unable to explain what they witnessed. The episode concludes by replaying part of the human vapor's televised declaration. He warns that everyone connected to White Center should already be terrified because he intends to hunt them down one by one.